Hello beautiful ones, welcome to your practice. Today's practice we're going to focus on the upper body together and particularly emphasize a little bit more strength for the arms and the backs of the shoulders too. So you're not going to need anything. Let's just get started straight away together. We're going to start seated. So come and sit down with your knees bent and the soles of the feet on the mat in front of you. We're going to spend a little bit of our practice today on our hands with weight traveling down through the wrist joint. So if you know that you've got sensitive, tender wrists, then please, this is just a reminder to take a break or come out early if you need to. Take rest, join back in when you're ready. No point in pushing beyond an edge that's not wholesome and healthy for you. Okay, so let's take a nice big step of the hands back behind us now and just have a look to check that your fingers are facing straight out to the side rather than facing forward or backward, just out to the side here. And then we'll press the heels of the hands down and straighten the arms and broaden across the front of the chest, and just notice how that feels. Right, probably feeling a gentle opening across the front of the chest and the shoulders, and you'll feel a firming of the muscles in the backs of the arms, which is what we're looking for. So if you have sensitive wrists, you might actually just choose to stay here today, okay? Or if you'd like to, you can come with me as you inhale, pressing down into the hands and the feet, or lift the hips up. And keep the gaze towards your navel so the back of the neck's long. And then exhale, slowly lower. Back of the pelvis touches the mat. Let's do 3 more. Inhale to rise. And exhale to lower. 2 more at your own pace. You don't have to be lifting up as high as I am. You might be lifting part of the way. And then the next time you lower down, you can let the pelvis rest on the mat. Take the weight off the hands for a moment, and you might even just gently circle the wrists a little bit here. So we're going to do 1 more round together, and this is where you might choose to keep the knees bent, soles of feet on the mat, or you might straighten the legs out in front of you. This might be a little more challenging. Okay, let's just see how we get on. Legs can be together or hip width distance. Feet can be relaxed. And let's meet again. Hands behind you, fingertips facing outward. Press down into the heels of the hands, straightening through the arms, broadening across the front of the chest. And as you're ready, inhale, press into the hands and the heels and lifting up. And exhale to slowly lower. We'll do things in 4 today, or in 4s. So let's do 3 more. But you can always do a little less if that's better for you, right? 2 more. And lucky last. Lowering all the way down and coming off the hands, and maybe circling the wrists again, maybe in the other direction this time. So when you're ready, we're going to meet together in a downward facing dog. So I'll meet you there. And just take a moment to settle. So because our practice is focused a little bit more on the upper body, let's bring a little bit of activity into the arms today. So press the mat away with the hands. Firm arms, like you're really reaching into the mat or reaching away from you with the arms. And that gentle feeling of the outer upper arms squeezing in a little today. And when you're ready, let's inhale, rock forward, plank pose. You might need to adjust hands or feet a little further back for that first plank. And then exhale, hips up and back. Downward dog. Let's repeat. Inhale to plank. Exhale to down dog. 2 more at your own pace. Follow the rhythm of your breath. And then we'll inhale one more time to plank pose, so I'll meet you there. And this time, as we exhale, we're actually going to lower our knees to the mat for a supported plank variation here. So there's still a lovely long line from your knees through the upper legs and the body to the crown of the head. So feel that, hands pressing the mat away, shoulder blades spreading on the upper back, take an in-breath. And then as you exhale, bend the elbows, elbows pointing backwards today, and lower halfway to the mat. Then inhale with me, press back up, and exhale, hips back towards the heels, child's pose. So let's repeat that together with the breath. Inhale to our supported plank. Knees on the mat, exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, press back up. Exhale, child's pose. 2 more together. Inhaling to our plank pose, knees on the mat. Exhale, lower halfway. Press up, inhale. Child's pose, exhale. Okay, we do 1 more together, this time a little different. Inhale to supported plank, knees on the mat, chest forward. Exhale, bend the elbows, and this time we'll lower slowly all the way to the belly. Beautiful. Keep your hands where they are. All right, heels of the hands in line with your lower ribs, and spread your fingers and grip the mat with your fingertips like you want to really feel the texture of your yoga mat with your fingertips. And as you do this, create the action of pulling the hands back towards the back of the mat, towards your feet. So it's like the hands are really trying to pull back towards your feet. And notice how that changes sensation for you through the backs of the arms, backs of the shoulders. So now see if you can keep that feeling, that pulling of the hands back as you inhale and press into a small or medium-sized cobra pose, keeping the elbows bent. And then we exhale and slowly lower down. So the slower we go, maybe the more challenging it is for our arms. Let's do 1 more. Inhale, slow cobra pose, push up. So cobra pose, push up. And then exhale, lower slowly. Great. Tuck the toes under, firm the legs, lift the fronts of the knees away from the mat. Take an in-breath. And as you exhale, we'll press to plank. Take an inhale and plank. And then down dog together. Exhale. Okay, we're going to come off the hands a little bit now. Give them a break. So right foot forward between the hands, warrior 2. Pivot the left heel in and down on the mat. Come on up and open the arms out to the side. I'll meet you there. And as you arrive in this warrior 2, just notice, how it feels for you today. Through the arms, backs of shoulders, upper back. And then we'll play together in the laboratory of the body. So now bend the elbows and squeeze them in alongside the side waist, side rib area. Turn the palms to face upwards, like you're holding a heavy plate or platter in front of you. Now keeping the elbows hugging in, make fists with the hands, and imagine you've got a rubber band or a really sticky piece of chewing gum, and you're going to pull the fists apart from one another against imagined resistance. So you've got to create that imaginary resistance. And then you might feel as you do this, hopefully you do, a turning on of the muscles through the back side of the shoulder. Really helpful. Rotator cuff muscles, external rotators. Feel that, right? Keep that feeling, keep that engagement as you now release this and reach the arms out wide. And then just notice how this feels to practice Warrior Two with this sense of engagement through the back of the shoulders compared to when you first came into Warrior Two. Neither's better or right or wrong. It's just a different way of practicing. One more in-breath together now. And then let's exhale, circle the hands to the mat. And we'll step to down dog together. Okay, so from downward facing dog, before we go to the second side, inhale and come halfway forward to plank. Look at your right hand and step it just one hand's length or half a hand's length further forward. And then we'll pivot to the outer edge of the right foot. You can stagger the feet or stack the left foot on top of the right foot today. Side plank. And let's focus on the arm in side plank. So that bottom shoulder, we really want the shoulder to draw down the back, away from the ear. Like the shoulder blades really snuggling nicely onto the upper ribs of the upper back there. And as you press your right hand down, lift your right hip away from the floor, reach the top arm. Maybe you hover the top leg. One more in-breath. And on the out breath, let's let it go. Hands to mat, hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Okay, we'll go straight to second side. So take an in-breath and down dog. And on the out breath, left foot steps forward. Right heel pivots in and down onto the mat, Warrior Two. And then just see how this one feels for you on this side. Coming in without needing to think too much, just arriving. And then one more time we'll do the same thing together. Bend the elbows, squeeze the elbows in alongside the body, shoulders drawing down the back, palms facing upwards towards the ceiling. Create fists with the hands. And against imagine resistance, like you're holding a resistance band, pull the hands out away from one another. And feel what you feel through the backs of the arms, the backs of the shoulders, the upper back. Keep that for a moment, just blueprinting that sensation in the body. And then see if you can keep that feeling in the upper back, backs of shoulders as you release and reach the arms out. Take a couple of breaths here, experiencing Warrior Two like this. And on your next exhale, hands down and back to down dog. Last little play with side plank together. So let's rock halfway forward to plank. Step our left hand a little further forward. Pivot to the outer edge of the left foot. Stack the right foot on top. Becoming aware of that bottom shoulder again. And if it's too much for the wrist and the elbow, come down onto the forearm. Pivot the forearm in on a little bit of an angle and take side forearm plank instead. In both variations, we want to really feel that left shoulder kind of plugging in, if you like, to the upper back. So take another breath here. You might reach that top arm or even hover that top leg. It's just play, remember? Yeah. Definitely doesn't make you a better person if you can or cannot do side plank. And on your next exhale, come back to plank pose, or if you're inside forearm plank, then you might just come to forearm plank. And then let's take a moment back in one more. Just one more downward facing dog. From here, we'll lower the knees to the mat, and we're going to play with one more little strengthener for the shoulders. So let's come into a dolphin pose together. We'll bring elbows onto the mat, shoulder width distance apart, interlace the hands, outer wrists and forearms on the mat too. So you've got this lovely stable triangular shape that you've created with the forearms and the hands on the mat. And as you press the forearms and the wrists down, let's tuck the toes and lift the hips into dolphin. It's okay if you have a little bend in the knees, if you're tighter through the backs of the legs, that's totally okay. So let's bring our awareness to the upper body again and create the action of squeezing the elbows in toward one another. And this might be where you stay, or you might come with me. Lift the gaze a little bit to look towards the mat between your elbows. And as you inhale, shift the weight forward to slide the shoulders forward through space until they come just slightly in front of the elbows. And then as you exhale, press the forearms down and lift the hips up and back into dolphin pose. And I think I said we're doing things in fours today. So let's do 3 more. But you can always do less and come into child's pose if you need. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, hips up and back. 2 more. Just feeling what you feel in the body. Sensations through the arms, the shoulders, the upper back. All that aliveness that we get from being in the body, moving together. And the next time you have your hips up and back into dolphin pose, just take 1 more in-breath with me. And then we'll exhale, knees to mat, and let's come into a child's pose together, hips to heels. And you might like to sweep the arms back alongside you today. Backs of hands on the mat, palms facing upwards. A few breaths here, letting go of efforting now. Next in breath, we'll just gently unfurl, unfold, rise back up from our child's pose. I'm going to stay seated kneeling in Vajrasana like this, but you're welcome to change the position, cross the legs instead if that's better for you. And let's just take a little twist to unwind any little bit of tension here. So we'll bring right hand to the sacrum, right at the base of the spine, fingertips facing down, left hand to right knee. And if you are sitting cross-legged, it would be the same, but maybe the right hand will be on the floor somewhere out from your right hip. And we'll lengthen and gently turn. One more in breath. And then we'll exhale and release. And just switch sides, turning to the second side. Left hand to sacrum, right hand across to the left knee. Last full in breath. And exhale to unwind. Take a moment, rest the hands on the lap, And just for a few moments, just close the eyes and notice what's changed. Notice how you feel. Thank you so much for joining me, for sharing your practice today, beautiful ones. And if you like the practice and haven't already, then please subscribe so you know when there'll next be another practice uploaded for you. Have a beautiful rest of your day, your week.